In the last 2 years, you've been blamed for financial collapse of Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, and Russia.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Are you that powerful?
No, I think there's a great misunderstanding. I am basically there to make money. I cannot and do not look at the social consequences of what I do. As a competitor, I've got to compete to win. As a human being, I am concerned about the society in which I live.
Which George Soros am I talking to now? The amoral George Soros or the moral George Soros?
It's one person. It's one person who at one time engages in amoral activities and at the rest of the time tries to be moral.
You're a Hungarian Jew.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Isaiah chapter 13, and verse 1 and 2. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles and others of great millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran, coming back at you with another lesson, and Lord will be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right. And I just wanted to go into a quick lesson going into the concept of agitation propaganda. All right. And this is something that I've been wanting to bring out for a while, but I guess now the Spirit wants me to bring out the message. All right. Now, I'll say a couple of days ago, probably either Thursday or Friday, I saw a video that the elder Manat Zagba from South Carolina did. It was concerning this agent guy, right? Some dude that, I don't know where he popped up out of nowhere talking about assalamu alaikum and freaking what's the other shit? And then he says shalom or something like that, right? And then he's talking about, you know, his black brothers and sisters from all different walks of life and creed and all this to band and come together. All kinds of weirdo shit. It's time is our time now, you know. It's time for us to rise and all this extra shit, right? Or some Grandmaster J type energy, you know, that fake bravado, fake, I'm gonna start a military campaign type, yeah, like, no. See? And right then and there, the Spirit revealed it that, yeah, that's just agent shit. All right, agent provocateurs. Okay, and even going back months ago, you had some of the guys from the ISUPK, all right, allowing this Edomite guy to come in, and I guess he was doing some form of journalistic thing, you know, at least that's what it appears to be, right? And then when it was done, he names it, I believe that's something like Black Hate Group or something like that, you know, ISUPK or Black Hebrew Israelite Hate Group or something along those lines, right? So another demonization tactic, and that's something Esau does. Okay, he puts the information out there long in advance when at that time it might seem innocent. And then later on, he starts building towards a certain goal, a certain looking for a certain outcome, where the things that he was doing back when it seemed innocent, now it becomes a weapon that he's going to use against you. Okay, so you know, the guy might seem harmless, or he's doing videos and he's just putting a documentary together, but meanwhile, the things that you guys are saying in these videos and the kind of actions you're taking in these videos, now it might seem innocent, like, yo, that's not wise, why y'all doing that, whatever, right? But then later on, when the tension is heightened and they put us in the forefront, like we're crazy dudes and really a hate group and anti this and so on and so forth, when they really demonize us, these kind of videos are going to be like the feeling towards it, or the perception towards it will be heightened in the sense of, oh, this is threat, or this is a hateful thing, you know. They'll spin it with that kind of information. Okay, and I believe through the Spirit that they're about to start shifting into that gear even more. Okay, to call us black extremist groups and so on and so forth. they're gonna start tying it into so many different things. That's why Trump came out and signed that so-called anti-Sem bill, okay, in the executive order. All right, that if anyone on school campuses or whatnot, if you have those kind of views, you're gonna be taken out. And that's gonna not just go for schools. It's gonna go for workplace, right? Because it's all about policing speech and controlling the people's minds. Okay, so all these things are gonna start. You see, just watch. But the point of the lesson I wanted to bring and drive home was that we're on a mission, right? The Lord has sent us out on a mission, and part of the mission, we've been told that when we get to a certain stage within that mission, at the very end, all right, that the Lord is going to put a certain spirit on Esau Edom and the heads of Esau Edom to finally, come after us. Okay. Now the build up to that, right, which would be through the form of their military and so on and so forth. But the build up to that, all right, is going to be done through propaganda. Okay. And that's what I wanted to focus on today, through the spirit, something known as agitation propaganda. Now, before I go into it, I want to go into the word agitation real quick, right? And let me just pull it up here. To agitate or the concept of agitation, right? To agitate, let's look it up real fast, right? Agitate says here to disturb, right? To disturb. So it's in a sense that the truth is a disturbance, all right, to Esau and his plans and his agenda, because we're telling them that the Lord is going to destroy this place, right? Their so-called empire, their so-called New World Order that they've been plotting and scheming for years, right? Now we're here coming up out of nowhere telling them, hey, listen, it's over. We got next. Like what? So we're a disturbance to them. We're a mean disturbance to them, right? It says here, to put in constant or violent motion. It says drive onward, impel, to set in motion, right? And the tie-in to all this is a lot of things that we deem false flags or FFs are actually meant to agitate the population. It's all part of the problem, reaction, solution agenda, right? So a lot of things happens that you might be like riots and protests and cop killing somebody, some Jake, and then it just agitates people and then they start rising up. That's the reaction they're looking for. Okay, and now you're starting to see small little things now in the month of, now in February, but in the month of January when Trump came in, pretty much 3/4 of the month in, right, 3/4 of the month in is when we saw him, right, the 20th, 21st, around there. He came in, he started wilding out, executive order. I'm like, oh shit. See? And like I keep saying, those executive orders are going to play a very pivotal role in the next 3 to 6 months. Okay, you're starting to hear the rhetoric of the BF, the Angry Bird. They said Marburg, and now they're saying some other shit that's popping up in down south area. So things are happening. The avenue or the door that they need to enter into to get the ball rolling, so to speak, that door is opening. All right, that door is opening, man. We could hear it. The door is opening. You're hearing the creak. You're hearing that shit right now. That's what's going on. It says to keep in movement, to stare up. There you go. All right. Move to and fro, to shake. All right. It says to keep political or social. It says to keep constantly in public view. Either political or social question, right? Or anything that has to do with politics, right? It's all part to agitate the masses, right? Now, when you go to that word agitation, let's go into that. Right here, it says debate or discussion. It says a mental tossing to and fro, right? It's more mental. It's all psychological warfare. All right. It says, right here, the physical sense of state of being shaken or moving violently. Okay. State of being mentally agitated, arousing and sustaining public attention. Okay. So in order for Esau to be justified in, professing that we're not actual prophets, but we're actually harmful to society, he has to come up with an idea, with a narrative, right? Just like all the ancient empires that saw Jake building back up to the kingdom, basically to go back to the Heavenly Father, right? Building our temples and so on and so forth. They always manufactured some form of difficulty, all right, to help us or to block us from achieving our goal ultimately, right? And our goal is to let them know that this place is going down. Going back to Isaiah 13, verse 3, it says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in mine highness, right? The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle, right? So the land of Jehoshaphat, so-called Middle East, all right, you got a lot of these so-called powerhouses of nations in terms of their nuclear and their the economy, but really nuclear capabilities now, right? The heavy nations are all coming together, all right, all coming together in that land, in the sense that they're all showing off their weapons. You know, some are buying from others, some are building from scratch, and so on and so forth. All right. And what are they doing? They're all shifting closer and closer towards the so-called Middle East. All right. The whole Ukraine-Russia war allowed for a lot of military people to be sent out there. Okay. And they've sent a lot of armaments out there too, through NATO. All right. So there's a lot of firepower out there, and it's only going to increase. Soon you're going to hear, oh, this country is sending this many troops out there. Oh, they just sent this many military armaments out there. It's all going to be everyone coming into that same area. Okay. And that's the Lord mustering up the hosts, all right, of the battle. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land, right? So America's destruction is going to be done through the spirit and power of the Lord. He's going to be the one to put in the kings of the earth's mind to shoot those arrows from the one end of the heaven all the way over here, which is the missiles. See, this is the judgment and the burden of Babylon that the Lord sent his prophets to come and prophesy. And because these devils don't want to hear that, all right, they're doing things to make our hands heavy, so to speak, right? Let's get a quick precept again. There's no new thing under the sun. Ezra chapter 4, verse 11, it says, this is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes the king. Thy servants, the men of on this side the river, and at such a time, right? The on this side the river is talking about the river Euphrates, okay, and I believe they were on the western part of the river. Okay, it says, be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and bad city. Right? Talking about the temple and getting our laws and instituting ourselves back as a actual government of people. They said, nah, we don't want to see that. You Jakes being in order, we don't want to see that. You going back to your power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we don't want to see that. That's why the Jays, I think it was last year or the year before, they said that the most dangerous threat to them are so-called young black men in America. Like how? See, the threat is them waking up to who they are. That's the threat. That's the problem. Because at that point, it's over with. And they know that. See, it says, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundations. Because remember, Jake has the biggest influence on this planet Earth. That's why they always have Jake pushing out all this crazy media bullshit. So if that same spirit of Jake is supposed to be turned upside down, then that means Jake is going to influence the whole world. Everybody going to wake up to who the Israelites are. Now, Esau, you're fucked. See? Because everybody want to be like Jake. So whatever Jake is going to be doing, that's what everybody's going to want to do. And if Jake is constant, everywhere you go, Jake is just banging on Esau and putting out things that's destroying Esau's image, bro, his kingdom will collapse in a second. Because the whole world is going to turn on Esau. See, because Jake turned on Esau. That's why they keep Jake distracted. Don't listen to your Hebrew Israelites. Oh, coming up with all these agent bullshit. It says, and have set up the walls thereof and joined the foundations. Right? I mean, in other words, they're almost done with their building. If we allow them to keep building, hey, they're gonna be done, and we have no power. It says, be it known now unto the king that if this city be builded and the walls set up again, right? If these people rise up, right? Amos 9 and 11, the Lord said he's gonna raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, all right, and he shall close the breaches thereof. He will rebuild it like in the days of old, right? So it says, the guy says that if the city be builded and the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom? In other words, they're no longer going to be under us. We're not going to have power over them no more, right? They're going to have their own shit, and the tables are going to be turned upside down. See? They'll no longer be our servants, our slaves. It says, then will they not pay toll, tribute, and custom, and so thou shalt endamage the revenue of the kings. Okay? So it's going to be at your disadvantage if they get from under us, because then they're not going to be paying shit. They're going to refuse. Right? It says, now because we have maintained our maintenance from the king's palace, and it was not meet for us to see the king's dishonor, therefore have we sent and certified the king, that search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers, so thou shalt find in the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city, and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old time, for which cause was this city destroyed. See? So they're pitching a case. Oh, these people, you see, it's what they've done in the past. Look, this is their history. So Esau has all those records. That's why they don't want Jake to make that connection, going back to who they are. That connection, they can't have that. And here we come, the prophets out here on the streets every day on YouTube, just blowing up the connection. Hey, that's a problem. That's a problem. And they take us very, very, very seriously, because we're the only threat. We're the only threat that actually shakes them. Because look, you could have a different nation that may have a military power. Guess what? Esau gonna come in and crush this shit with ease. And they'll just come up with some BS story on the news, and then that's it. And make you support what they're doing. Oh, there's a terrorist group here. We gotta go. Go eliminate that competition from there. The opposition, that resistance. Boom, they out of there. See? So if Esau wanted to wipe anyone out, he'd just go over there and just go wipe you out. See? And not have to even think twice about it. They don't feel any remorse. They don't feel bad when they commit these kind of things. That's just in their nature. Scripture says what? They're the border of wicked, or the border of wickedness. Okay? There's a righteous vessel and then there's a wicked vessel. They were created to be the wicked vessel. The physical counterpart of spiritual demon Satan. The way Satan moves, the way he thinks, the way he's out here to destroy and do all this extra shit. The physical counterpart would be Esau, Edom. That's how they move. They're the Satan of the human race. The devil of the human race. Everywhere they are, everywhere you go around them, they always got some demonic shit going on. That's how you know. It's not that deep. So that's why if you're going to demonize a man of the Lord, what kind of a devil can you be? See? If your kingdom is based on truth, why are you so intimidated by what we're saying? Why is that so much of a threat? Why are you worried about it? If you're built on truth, then everything we're saying should be affirming everything you've been doing and saying. But no, it's condemning you. It's revealing you. Right? So now you got to come up with tacky moves to try to eliminate us. It's not going to work. It says, going back to Ezra 4:16, it says, we certify the king that if this city be builded again, and the walls thereof set up by this means, thou shalt have no portion on this side the river. Right? So if you don't do anything about this, we that's it. Like don't even count us as part of you. Like you got no portion over here. All right, we gonna cut asunder from you. See, we're gonna separate ourselves from you if you're gonna be cool with these people. See, that's the kind of agitation that they're gonna be creating. The false noose. You know. Another account. This is the editions of Esther, the 4th chapter. It says the copy, verse 1. It says the copy of letters was this: the great King Artaxerxes writeth these things to the princes and the governors that are under him from India unto Ethiopia in 127 provinces. After that I became Lord over many nations and had dominion over the whole world, not lifted up with presumption of my authority, but carrying myself always with equity and mildness. I purpose to settle my subjects continually in a quiet life, and making my kingdom peaceable and open for passage to the utmost coast, to renew peace, which is desired of all men. Now when I asked my counselors how this might be brought to pass, a man that excelled in wisdom among us, and was approved for his constant goodwill and steadfast fidelity, and had the honor of the second place in the kingdom, declared unto us that all nations through the world there was scattered a certain malicious people, and had laws contrary to all nations, and continually despised the commandments of kings, so as the uniting of our kingdoms honorably intended by us cannot go forward. Right? So our so-called New World Order is not going to work as long as we have these people out here, because they will expose everything. By the time we get to 2030, if we allow these guys out here like this and we don't stop them, that you own nothing and you be happy will be just a fallacy. It's a fiction. It will not happen. You know, because they're gonna destroy it. They're gonna blow our spot. They saying Yahushua is coming back. That's a problem for us. See? And the more people believe on them, the less power we have. That's a problem. That's why Al Gore gonna take his Edomite little ass up on stage and talk about the mainstream narrative is not working. We got to do something about that. What you mean? What you mean? Like people got to just listen to mainstream media? Like we don't got no choice to go check other things out? It's like we got to do something about it. Like people are not tuned into the propaganda we're feeding them. There's a problem. We got to do something about that. Damn devil, man. Right? It says, but yeah, you got these Christians that be try to take up for these devils, man. Shit crazy. Right? Going back to additions to Esther, the 4th chapter, the 6th verse, it says, oh no, actually verse 5, it says, seeing then we understand that this people alone is continually in opposition unto all men, differing in the strange manner of their laws, right? The laws, statutes, and commandments are strange to the heathen nations. Right, that's why they don't keep it. Okay, it says, and even affected to our state, working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established. Right. So here it is. They preach AI God. We preach Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So our laws are strange unto them. We have a law. Our first law says, "Ye shall have no other God besides me, or before me." Right. So we have one God. One power, Yahweh himself, through his only begotten son, Yahushua. These other nations have many gods. See? So their laws completely different. That's what sets us apart from them. All right? Verse 6, it says, therefore have we commanded that all they that are signified in writing unto you by Amen, who is ordained over the affairs and is next unto us, shall all, with their wives and children, be utterly destroyed by the sword of their enemies, without all mercy and pity, the 14th day of the 12th month Adar of this present year. See? It says that they who of old are and now also are malicious, right? When they say malicious or evil, they're talking about Israelites, right? Because Jake is looked at as malicious now. Look at how they create these systems that Jake has to live in. You know, because they look at Jake as a problem. Like, you guys are just aggressive troublemakers. You know, they live in the projects. You know, there's always mad cops everywhere. You know, Jake is just wild. So to them, they're like, yo, these people are malicious. You know, it says, and Jake does malicious things, right? Well, let's actually look up the word malicious. Let's see if that actually fits Jake. The wicked ass niggas. Malicious. Right? It says harboring ill will. That's Jake. Right? Enmity or hostility, especially against each other. Right? Jake always got some beef going on with each other, man. Right? It says showing ill will, spiteful, wicked. That's Jake, malicious. Okay? It says badness, ill will, spite. All right? Malice, unpleasant. Right? Look no further than the so-called black woman. You know how she treats her own man, the so-called black man. You see that's all malicious, man. All right, examples of being malicious. All right, being filled with malice, right, which is the desire to hurt other people. You know, the feeling to inflict injury and suffering against others. You know, sinfulness, man. All right. So yes, when they called Jake, when they were saying these malicious people, yeah, Jake was still in that type of time even back then. Okay. It says going back to addition of Esther 4:7, it says that they who of old and now are also malicious may in one day with violence go into the grave, and so ever hereafter cause our affairs to be well settled and without trouble. Right. So if we allow these crazy ass niggas to get back in their right mind, our system is done. You know, our system is done. They're going to start telling themselves, oh, we're Hebrews. We don't listen to you niggas no more. Oh, it's game over. It's game over. So they have to do whatever they can to stop it. Okay. Now I wanted to I mentioned it, but I never actually read it, which is a little bit on agitation propaganda. Okay. It says here, agitation propaganda, or agitprop for short, is from Russian. And it says it refers to an intentional, vigorous promulgation of ideas. Okay. It says the term originated in the Soviet Union, where it referred to popular media such as literature, plays, pamphlets, films, and other art forms with an explicitly political message in favor of communism, right? So just take communism out and put anything else in there. Whatever narrative they want to push, just take communism out and put that in there. And that's exactly what they do. Okay? Look what happened with CV and what's about to happen soon with whatever concoction they got going on. You can call it disease X, right? They're going to use the media, you know, films, celebrities, so-called influencers, everyone you could think of that's on their payroll, they're going to use. Remember what Albert Pike said? They're going to set out the nihilists and their agitators. All right. And they're going to bring out such a weird spirit that they're going to just be pouring upon the face of the earth, that people are going to be just worn out. Okay. By it. You know? Think of the past 4 years of the Biden regime times 20 or 30. And it's just like constant. It just never stops. With the authoritarian spirit of Trump on top of that. That's a terrible place. It says the term originated in the Soviet Union as a shortened name for the Department of Agitation and Propaganda. It's written in Russian. It says which was part of the central and regional committees of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. Within the party apparatus, both agitation and propaganda were the responsibility of the Agitpropadel, or APO, APPO. Okay, so both agitation, which was work among people who were not communists, and propaganda, which is political work among party members. See, so they did the inside job thing. That's the propaganda part. And the agitation is how the inside job affects the unsuspecting victims, which are the civilians. See? All going into MK Ultra, but on a mass scale. You know? It says forms of agitprop, right? The use of the press. Okay, and it goes back to the Bolshevik Revolution and how they were able to use the press as a strategy to get people to be to support the overpowering of the Tsar, right? They got oral agitation networks, right? Which are it says here, it says they said to build. They understood that to build a long-lasting regime, they would need to win the support of the mass population of the people, right? So they organized parties and demobilized soldiers and others to become supporters of their ideologies. Okay. Some of them even dressed up in uniforms and were sent to travel the countryside as agitators to the peasants, or what they call peasants. Those are the people. You see? So sometimes those are the agents. They send those agents out there to set shit off so that they could bring blame on those who are not a part of it. See, they have to have a reason. So they make up the reason. See? Meanwhile, you're telling people about what they're trying to do and people look at you like you crazy. Right? It says literacy campaigns, right? So they spend a lot of money and time in propaganda. You know, their job is all about mind control. The governments, you know, government. It's all about power over your mind. Okay, and that's why the Democrat Republican spirit is out there heavy now. You know? But I just wanted to bring this out real quick. Just something I was meditating on. You know, just to be mindful of what's going on and just pay attention because they're gonna start their shit. You know? And that's why you start to see all these weirdo people pop up because they're all using these things as a means to build a case. You know, and however we respond to these things, they also record and be like, oh, okay, this is how they're feeling about it. All right, let's try this. They want to just find a way. Ultimately, since they can't find any way, they're going to just make a way, going to create it. You know, and that's where the false flags and so on and so forth comes in. You know, but people are waking up. So the truth is going to be out there. All right, no matter how hard they try to suppress it, at some point, they're just going to have to shut the whole system down. You know, because your propaganda ain't going to work. All right. But anyway, I'm going to leave it off there. Lord willing, you are edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.